All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High Yahawashi in the name of His only begotten Son, Yahawashi, which are the true ancient Hebrew names of the Father and of the Son, Yahawah and Yahawashi. And also, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans who are the true Israelites of the Bible, pertaining to James, the first chapter, first verse. And last but not least, double honor to the head apostles, a great millstone who taught me this truth, along with the sincere brethren that's out there doing the work as well. Shalom. Alright, so the big question in life is, what happens when we die? Now, I'm sure that every soul that has ever lived has thought upon the big mystery according to what happens when we pass away. Do we go to heaven? Do we go to hell where we burn forever? Or do we just cease to exist and we just sleep forever, a perpetual sleep? Well, lo and behold, all those answers are answered in the Bible. And it's not what you think it is. So let's take a little trip in the scriptures and see what happens when we all pass away. Many people also have kind of a belief of when we pass, we are reincarnated into another being or animal or something of that sort. Well, if that's true, we're going to find out. All right, so let's go to the scriptures. This is Slakia. Let's go to 2 Corinthians, the 5th chapter, 6th verse. This is Apostle Paul speaking. Therefore, we are always confident, knowing that whilst we are home in the body, we are absent from the Lord. Verse 7, for we walk by faith, not by sight. 8, we are confident, and I say, and willing rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord. Now, why did Apostle Paul say that we are confident rather to be absent from the body and to be present with the Lord? Well, let's see. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 3:18. Let's read. I said in mine heart concerning the estates of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. So the sons of men are equal to the beasts, flesh-wise. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befall them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yet they have all one breath, so that a man have no preeminence over a beast. For all is vanity. Here's the point, verse 20. All go unto one place, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? So what is it saying? When you die, your spirit returns to the Father, because the Most High is the Father of spirits. Okay. And the second point, it says, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth. Okay, so when animals die, their spirit goes back to the Father, and over time, that spirit comes back down into another animal. That's what that's talking about. So, in a sense, yeah, that is reincarnation. But we're going to prove that later on in the lesson. Now let's go to Ecclesiastes 9:4. We'll start at 5. For the living know that they shall die, but the dead know not anything, neither have they any more reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. Also their love and their hatred and their envy is not perished. Now have they any more a portion forever in anything that is done under the sun. Okay. So when we die, basically we all go to sleep. The spirit returns to the Father, and the body returns to the dust, as I just read before. Okay, there is no memory of your former life once you die. Okay, so do we go to hell when we die? No. Hell is simply a low state or a low condition, or simply the grave or death. That's all that means. It's not a place underground where you burn for eternity, and it's a place where demons and Satan dwells, and they torment you with pitchforks and all kinds of torturing devices or anything like that. Not in that place. So let's get one more. This is Ecclesiastes 12:7. It reads, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return unto the Most High who gave it." That's it. When you die, whether you done good or bad, your spirit returns unto the Father. Okay? Now, there's more to that. There's more to that. I'm going to get to it in a little while. So just hold that. Just know that all spirits go back to the Father when we die. Okay? This is Matthew 11:23. And this is dealing with hell. "And thou, Capernaum, which are exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in thee have been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day." So this is talking about a city, a unrepentant city called Capernaum, which was exalted unto heaven, meaning it was exalted to the highest status. Okay, it was put up on a pedestal per se, you know. And heaven just means high-minded or high authority or something, or dominion. I just say dominion. Okay, a high status. Okay, and afterwards it says shall be brought down to hell, which what we just read, or what I just told you, it was a low state of mind or a low state of being, or captive state, or simply death. Okay, that's all that means. Now we'll go to let's go to Jonah. Jonah 2:1. "Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. And out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice." So, as I was saying, or as I just told you, that hell was a low condition, being in a low state. Okay, Jonah was swallowed by a fish, and he was in there for 3 days. All right, so he was in a state of hell, a state of a low condition. Okay, he says, I cry by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord. Affliction, see, hell, affliction. It means to be afflicted. Reason of mine affliction unto the Lord, and he heard me. And out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So no, hell is not no place underground where you burn for eternity. That's simply talking about a low mind state, or being held captive, or simply death. That's all that means. All right. Hell in the ancient Paleo Hebrew actually means Sheol, which means the grave. Okay, that's simply all it means. Now let's go to let's get an account. Let's go to Amos real quick. It says, though they dig into hell, thence shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. So what is that saying? Though they dig into the ground, then shall my hand take them. That's talking about these elites, because they're getting ready for Judgment Day. So they're going to dig into hell, which is the ground, all right, or the grave, and they're going to try to hide. And he says, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, though they climb up to space, thence will I bring them down. So that's all that's saying. Okay, high and low, high and low. Now let's go to the book of Job. This is Job 19 and 25. Now this is an account of reincarnation, if you can receive it. Now I'm gonna go into a deeper breakdown in my next lesson, but here's an example. This is Job 19 and 25. It reads, for I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms, and though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High. So what is he saying? He says when he dies, that the worms will destroy his flesh or his body. But then again he says, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High, whom I shall see for myself, and my eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me. Okay, so let's see what that's talking about. Okay, let's go to Second Idris. Second Idris 14 and 35. Let me highlight it. It reads, for after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again, and then shall the names of the righteous be manifest, and the works of the ungodly shall be declared. So what that's saying is, after you die, once your spirit returns back up to the Father, then you get judged before his throne, and then you have to carry out that judgment in your next life. That's why the scriptures tell you to fear not him which can kill the body, but fear him which can kill soul and the body in hell. And hell is a low condition, because after you die, you receive judgment from the Father, and you wait your lot to the third and fourth generation. Okay, that's written back in the book of Deuteronomy. I have to get that later on, but you wait out your lot and get third and fourth generation. Then you come back out to play your judgment out in your next life. That's why if you haven't fulfilled your judgment in your past life, then you will fulfill it in your second life or whatever. That's why you see people born with disabilities and stuff like that, and because they're going through hell, they did something in their past life that they were rewarded to live out their next life in that type of manner, whether it be someone with ailments, missing limbs, or anything of that sort from birth, being born blind or anything. Okay, so that's what happens when you die. You receive judgment and you come back into your next lot to serve out your punishment or your righteousness. Simple as that. Now this is let's go back to Job. This is Job. It's not. This is Job, the 2nd chapter, the 1st verse. Now this is an account of the spiritual being Satan interacting with the Most High. And the Christian church teaches you that Satan dwells in the underworld, right? Where he tortures his inhabitants for living an evil life, per se. per se. Okay, well, let's see what happens right here. Let's see if he lives on the ground or not. This is verse 1. Again, there was a day when the sons of the Most High came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. And the Lord said unto Satan, From whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it. And the Lord said unto Satan, Hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth the Most High, and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him, to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered the Lord and said, Skin for skin, yeah, all that a man have will he give for his life. But put forth thine hand now and touch his bone and his flesh, and he will curse thee to thy face. So the Most High was making a bet with Satan. Satan was given a job to make Job break by plaguing him so he could curse the Most High. Okay, let's read on verse 6. And the Lord said unto Satan, Behold, he is in thine hand, but save his life. Don't kill him, but torture him. So went Satan forth from the presence of the Lord, and smote Job with sore boils from the sole of his foot unto his crown. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal. Okay, so he was plagued with boils, these big pretty much cysts, big balls of pus or whatever you call it. And he was plagued through the skin pretty bad. And he took him a potsherd to scrape himself withal. And he sat down among the ashes. Then said his wife unto him, Dost thou still retain thine integrity? So she was like, you still gonna worship this God after he didn't, put all this evil on you? He's supposed to be looking out for you, but here you are with bowls from head to toe, and you still praising the same power. And she was, and further on, she was saying, dost thou still retain thine integrity? Curse the Most High and die. See, she was telling him to curse the Most High and die, because she was fed up with it. But he said unto her, Thou speakest as one of the foolish women speaketh. What, shall we receive good at the hand of the Most High, and shall we not receive evil? And all this did not Job sin with his lips. See? People, some people expect that, the Most High is good all the time, not knowing that he rewards evil too. The scripture tells you that the Most High chastening those whom he loves. So if you're not going through anything, then you're considered a bastard. A bastard to the Most High. Okay? So Job stayed faithful and kept his integrity. Throughout the nigger woman cussing him out, calling him all kinds of names, telling him to curse out the Most High and die. He still held his integrity, So that's a great example. Anytime you're going through something, just keep your faith. All right. So hopefully you got an understanding of the concept of hell and what happens after we die. I'm gonna go into a further breakdown in my next lesson about reincarnation and a little more. It's gonna be a little more informative. I say that. Okay, so hopefully that was edifying. Till next time, I'm gonna say shalom.